Learning and retaining new vocabulary is a fundamental part of mastering any language. The process can often seem daunting, particularly when you find yourself repeatedly forgetting words you've recently encountered. However, this experience is not uncommon and is a natural part of the language acquisition journey. When you first come across a new word, it's typically unfamiliar, and you may need to consult a dictionary to grasp its meaning. This initial step is the beginning of a broader process that involves multiple stages of understanding and memory consolidation. The journey of fully internalizing a new word involves moving through several phases. Initially, when you encounter a word for the first time, it's normal to have no prior knowledge of it. At this stage, the word is entirely new, and your first task is to look it up, understand its meaning, and see it in a sentence. This step might also involve learning about the word's pronunciation, spelling, and different forms it might take in various grammatical contexts. Despite this initial effort, the word is not yet part of your memory in a significant way. As you continue to encounter the word in different contexts, whether in reading, listening, or conversation, you start to recognize it more often. This recognition is a critical step, as it indicates that your brain is starting to register the word's presence. However, this doesn't necessarily mean you've mastered the word. At this point, you might remember having seen or heard the word before, but its meaning might still escape you. You may find yourself looking up the word multiple times, and this can be a source of frustration. However, this repetition is not a sign of failure. Rather, it's an essential part of the learning process, as it helps reinforce the word in your memory. As you continue to encounter the word, you begin to develop a partial understanding. You might not recall the exact definition, but you have a sense of what the word relates to, such as whether it's a noun, verb, or adjective. This phase often involves recognizing the word's meaning in context, even if you're not fully confident about it. For instance, you might deduce that the word pertains to an emotion, an action, or an object, based on how it's used in a sentence. This partial understanding helps you navigate the word's meaning in different scenarios, but it still doesn't mean the word is fully integrated into your vocabulary. As you progress, the word moves into what is known as your passive vocabulary. In this phase, you understand the word when you see or hear it, but you might struggle to recall it when you need to use it actively in conversation or writing. This is a crucial stage, as it indicates that the word is becoming more familiar, but it's not yet readily accessible for active use. To transition from passive to active vocabulary, it's important to engage with the word actively. This can involve using the word in sentences, practicing it in writing exercises, or speaking it aloud in conversations. Such activities help solidify the word in your memory, moving it from recognition to recall. Eventually, with consistent practice and exposure, the word becomes part of your active vocabulary. At this stage, you can use the word confidently and correctly in your speech and writing without hesitation. Achieving this level of fluency requires regular practice and a conscious effort to use the word in various contexts. It's not enough to just recognize the word. You need to be able to use it naturally and accurately. This involves understanding the nuances of the word, such as its connotations, common collocations, and the contexts in which it is appropriate to use it. A key aspect of mastering new vocabulary is exposure. The more you encounter a word, the more likely you are to remember it. This exposure can come from reading books, watching movies, listening to podcasts, or engaging in conversations. Each of these activities provides a different context in which the word might be used, helping to deepen your understanding of its meaning and usage. Additionally, using language learning tools like flashcards or vocabulary apps can reinforce your memory by providing regular, structured practice. Understanding a new word's usage is as important as knowing its definition. Contextual learning helps you grasp not just the meaning of a word, but also how it is used in different situations. For example, certain words may be more formal or informal, or they may be used primarily in specific regions or by certain groups of people. Being aware of these subtleties helps you use the word more appropriately and naturally. Moreover, encountering a word in various contexts allows you to see its different meanings and uses, enhancing your overall comprehension. In addition to vocabulary acquisition, improving your listening skills is crucial for overall language proficiency. Good listening skills enable you to understand spoken language, which is essential for participating in conversations and understanding various media. There are numerous resources available to help you practice listening, including audiobooks, podcasts, music, and films. Choosing materials that match your current level of language proficiency is important, as this ensures that you can understand and learn from what you are listening to. For beginners, simplified English books that come with audio recordings are an excellent resource. These books are designed to match different levels of proficiency and often include vocabulary lists and comprehension questions. By reading the text first and then listening to the audio, you can reinforce your understanding and improve both your reading and listening skills. This dual approach helps you see how words and sentences are constructed, as well as how they sound when spoken. Watching movies or TV shows is another effective way to improve your listening skills. When watching a film, start with subtitles in your native language to understand the plot, then switch to subtitles in English, and finally, try watching without subtitles. This gradual approach helps you focus on different aspects of the language, such as vocabulary, pronunciation, and sentence structure. Repeated viewing of the same film can also be beneficial, as it allows you to pick up on details you might have missed the first time around. Additionally, choosing content that interests you, such as documentaries, reality shows, or YouTube videos on topics you enjoy, can make the learning process more engaging and enjoyable. To make significant progress, it's essential to practice listening regularly. Aim for at least 30 minutes of listening practice each day. This consistent exposure helps you become more comfortable with the sounds and rhythms of the language, making it easier to understand and use. Focus on understanding as much as you can, even if it's only a small portion at first. As you continue to practice, you'll gradually understand more and more. Remember, the goal is to comprehend spoken language in real time, which requires patience and persistence. One effective strategy for improving listening comprehension is to engage with materials that are slightly above your current level. This challenges you to stretch your abilities and learn new vocabulary and structures. However, it's important not to choose materials that are too difficult, as this can lead to frustration and demotivation. Instead, find a balance that pushes your limits while still being manageable. As you become more confident, you can gradually increase the difficulty of the materials you engage with. In addition to listening, speaking practice is crucial for language learning. Engaging in conversations with native speakers or fellow learners helps you apply the vocabulary and grammar you've learned in a real-world context. This practical application reinforces your knowledge and builds your confidence. Language exchange programs, conversation clubs, and online forums are excellent resources for finding speaking partners. These platforms provide opportunities to practice speaking in a supportive environment, receive feedback, and learn from others. Overall, learning a new language is a multifaceted process that involves not just memorization, but also practical application, contextual understanding, and regular practice. It's a gradual journey that requires patience, persistence, and a positive attitude. Celebrate your progress along the way, whether it's mastering a new word, understanding a sentence, or successfully engaging in a conversation. Each step forward brings you closer to fluency and the ability to communicate confidently in a new language. Remember that learning a language is not just about acquiring a new skill, it's also about opening up new opportunities and experiences. Whether you're learning a language for travel, work, study, or personal interest, the effort you put in will be rewarded with a deeper understanding of different cultures and perspectives. So, keep practicing, stay motivated, and enjoy the journey of language learning.